You sleep for 8 hours. You drink 3 cups of coffee. You take your vitamins. And yet, by 2 p.m., you feel like someone pulled the plug. You aren't just tired. You are physically and mentally depleted. You assume you're just getting older, or maybe you're just stressed. Welcome to Dr. Levitas. But what if the problem isn't the amount of sleep you're getting, but the quality of the electricity your body is generating? Today, we are going to talk about the engines of your existence, the mitochondria. When these engines fail, you don't experience a total blackout. You experience a brownout. The lights are on, but they are dim. You function, but you don't thrive. We are going to dissect exactly why your cellular batteries are leaking energy, how common foods are damaging the machinery, and the specific science-backed protocols that can help you rebuild your power grid from the ground up. Before we start, please hit the like button and leave a comment. Your engagement is a huge help to the channel. To fix the fatigue, you have to understand the generator. Your mitochondria are tiny organelles found in almost every cell in your body. They have one job: to take the food you eat and the oxygen you breathe, and turn them into adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. Think of ATP as the electricity that runs everything. Your heart beating? That costs ATP. Your brain thinking? That costs ATP. Inside the mitochondria, there is a mechanism called the electron transport chain. Imagine a line of turbines. We feed electrons into this line. As they pass down the chain, they pump protons across a membrane, creating pressure. This pressure spins the final turbine, ATP synthase, to create energy. In a healthy young person, this turbine spins fast and clean. But in many people, the turbine is rusty. The electrons leak out before they reach the end. This is mitochondrial dysfunction. When electrons leak, you don't just lose energy, you create exhaust, called free radicals. These are reactive oxygen species that damage the cell further. You are producing less power and more pollution. Now, why do these turbines break? One of the biggest modern culprits is likely hiding in your pantry right now. Seed oils rich in linoleic acid. Your mitochondria have an inner and outer membrane. The inner membrane is where the magic happens. It needs to be structurally sound to hold that proton pressure we talked about. This membrane is made of a unique phospholipid called cardiolipin. Cardiolipin is like the seal on a gasket. When you consume natural saturated fats or monounsaturated fats, like extra virgin olive oil, the cardiolipin is robust and tight. However, when your diet is high in industrial seed oils, like soybean, corn, or canola, your body is forced to build this membrane out of linoleic acid. Linoleic acid is highly unstable and prone to oxidation. When incorporated into cardiolipin, it makes the membrane leaky. Instead of the protons driving the turbine to make energy, they leak back through the flimsy membrane. The result? You eat the food, but you don't get the energy. Your engine is revving, you're burning fuel, but the car isn't moving. This is a primary driver of metabolic inefficiency. You've probably seen influencers standing in front of red lights and thought it was just a trend. But the physics behind red light therapy, or photobiomodulation, is actually rooted in mitochondrial science. Remember that assembly line of turbines? The fourth one is called cytochrome C oxidase. It often gets clogged by a molecule called nitric oxide, especially when you are stressed or inflamed. When nitric oxide gums up the works, the electrons can't flow. Here is the magic: red light and near-infrared light, specifically the wavelengths between 600 and 850 nanometers, are absorbed directly by this specific protein. The light energy knocks the nitric oxide off the enzyme. By removing the blockage, oxygen can dock again, and ATP production resumes efficiently. A review in the Annals of Biomedical Engineering highlighted that this mechanism effectively recharges the mitochondrial battery, reducing fatigue and accelerating recovery. You are literally using light to clean your engine. Even with the best maintenance, machines wear out, and a senescent or zombie mitochondrion is dangerous. It produces almost no energy but spews out massive amounts of inflammatory free radicals. You don't want these inside you. Your body has a built-in quality control process called mitophagy. Mito means mitochondria, and phagy means to eat. It identifies these broken batteries and digests them to build new ones. But here is the catch. Mitophagy is suppressed when you are constantly eating. As long as there is a steady stream of glucose coming in, your body has no incentive to recycle. It's only when you enter a fasted state, usually around 16 to 18 hours without food, that a sensor called mTOR quiets down and the cleanup crew is dispatched. If you graze from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, you never trigger this deep clean. You are accumulating broken engines that are slowly poisoning your cells. Intermittent fasting isn't just a weight loss tool. It is a mitochondrial quality control program. We cannot talk about mitochondrial health without addressing the environment. Our mitochondria are evolutionarily ancient. They are actually descendants of bacteria. And like bacteria, they are incredibly sensitive to antibiotics and chemicals. Many modern environmental toxins act as direct mitochondrial disruptors. They are like throwing sand into those delicate turbines. Heavy metals, like mercury and lead, have a high affinity for the sulfur groups in mitochondrial enzymes. Glyphosate, found in non-organic produce, has been shown in studies to interfere with the cytochrome pathways. When these accumulate, they physically block the electron transport chain. This is why detox isn't a dirty word, it's a necessity for energy. If you are doing everything right but still feel exhausted, you have to look at your toxic load. Are you filtering your water? Are you eating organic to avoid pesticides? You have to stop putting sand in the gas tank. There is one molecule that is absolutely essential for moving electrons down the line. It's called coenzyme Q10, or CoQ10. Without it, the electrons are stranded. Your body makes CoQ10 naturally. However, production peaks in your 20s and declines with age. But there is a pharmaceutical elephant in the room. Statin medications are prescribed to lower cholesterol. They work by blocking an enzyme called HMG-CoA reductase. The problem? That same enzyme is required to produce CoQ10. A study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology noted that statin therapy can lower serum CoQ10 levels by up to 40%. This is often why people on statins report muscle pain and fatigue. Their muscle cells are literally running out of the spark plugs needed to generate energy. If you are on a statin, having a conversation with your doctor about supplementing with ubiquinol, the active form of CoQ10, is absolutely critical to keep your lights on. So we've talked about fixing the broken mitochondria. But what if you could just build more of them? This is the power of Zone 2 cardio. Most people go to the gym and smash a high-intensity interval, HIIT workout. That has its place. But to build mitochondrial density, you need low-intensity, steady-state exercise. We are talking about a pace where you can maintain a conversation without gasping for air. When you train in Zone 2, you stress the type 1 muscle fibers just enough to signal a pathway called PGC1-alpha. This acts as a master switch for mitochondrial biogenesis. Your body says, hey, we are doing a lot of continuous work. We need more power plants. Studies show that elite cyclists have massive mitochondrial density because they spend hours in this zone. You don't need to ride the Tour de France, but 3 to 4 sessions a week of 45 minutes of steady, easy movement is the most potent element we have for increasing your total energy capacity. Here is the doctor's verdict: reclaiming your voltage. Fatigue is not a lack of character, it is a lack of voltage. You are a bioelectric being. If you feel dim, it's because your generators are either broken, clogged, or fueled by the wrong things. But the beautiful thing about biology is that it repairs itself if you give it the chance. Stop feeding your body unstable oils that leak energy. Give your cells the light they crave. Clean out the junk with fasting and build new engines with Zone 2 training. You don't have to accept the brownout as your new normal. You can turn the power back up to 100%. I'm Dr. Levitas, helping you recharge your life. Watch this video suggestion. It was especially picked for you. Also share, comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It helps a ton with the algorithm. Remain tuned for future videos to empower your health and fitness journey. So, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep going.